Good evening, everybody. It's Thursday night, just a little after 7 o'clock. I thought I'd pop in and see who was all here. AZ, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, see who was here and who wanted to be here and someplace to go. I know that it was windy again here today. Really windy. 35, 40 mile an hour gusts. So that's supposed to calm down the next day or so. Hanging with JD. Hey, JD, how are you doing, my friend? And if everybody would please remember to hit the like button, if you would please. I am muted. Don't think so. You're muted. Let me go over here and look. Should not be muted. Testing 1, 2. Lynn is doing better. Can everybody hear me all right? Yeah. I'm muted over on YouTube because I don't want it to transfer over. Anyway, Drone Shots, how you doing, my friend? Yeah, it's Thursday night. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock. JD, yeah, okay, it might have been on your end. Okay. Yeah, I had kind of a busy day running around doing some things. I went down to Lynn's house and worked on her outdoor camera. She got a Wise pan cam and it went bad, and I had an extra one. And I took it down, hooked that all up for her. So her camera is now working in her backyard, so she's happy. Oh, thanks, AZ. Yeah. Okay, hanging with JD. Has restarted your YouTube, so all's good now. That's great. Glad to hear it. So I had an interesting conversation today with my friend out there in Minnesota that has he just got the Air 2S, and he had all kinds of problems with it, and he had a ticket to return it to DJI for some kind of issues, and as an end result, he plugged it into the main computer and went to Assistant and reloaded it. When it ran, it said that he had a problem with the firmware that was on it. Reloaded the firmware, and it's been flying great ever since. So that's always always a concern, I'm sure. But anyway, Robert Stanton and I talked about it, and he said, yeah, he's really happy. And he did what's the name of that? Some kind of a shots. It's a program with it, and he really enjoyed that. He did some night flying for some Christmas village type things. And so, yeah, he's enjoying that Air 2S. He initially said that he had ordered the Mavic 3, and then he decided he didn't need all that stuff. So he got the Air 2S. And after he got over the initial hump of where he had the firmware was not correct in the aircraft, he's been flying it. Yeah, AZ. Now, do you use lychee on yours, AZ? I've never used, I see it, but I've never used it on any of my drones, lychee. If anybody like to join the panel, come on with me. It's up at the top of the chat. Click on it, come on in. You don't have to stay long, but everybody's welcome. So, yeah, I do remember Kim Furball did have the same problem. So, it seems like within the last 20 minutes, the wind has finally calmed down a little bit. It was really howling today, on and off all day. And especially as the sun went down, it really was howling. Then all of a sudden just tapered right off. I mean, it's still a little bit windy out there, but not like it was. Hey, Justin, how you doing, my friend? Um, so how's the weather been down there, AZ? Pretty good? Yeah, yeah, second party. If you're using second party software, it pretty much voids your warranty. Yep. Um, other than that, the weather, it looks like they're going to get clobbered again down south. Let me go over here and check the weather. Um, the radar, let's see, what's the radar telling us here? I'm going to zoom out a little bit. I'm going to do a screen share. That. As you guys can see, here's this line right here coming on up down through Louisville, and it's moving, but it's going through Memphis, Tennessee. It's going through Tennessee, Jackson, heading for Chattanooga. And this, the interesting part is this little tail. I was watching it. Seems to want to wrap up and go up around a little bit. This is all Futurecast here. Let's see how that's kind of hooking up a little bit. Not good. Evening, Smoking. How you doing? Lenny's here. Hey, Z says, Justine. That's funny. The yeah, like I say, I didn't get a chance to fly at all today. The weather was just too darn windy. Plus, I had a lot of things that I was trying to catch up on, and I did get a lot of it done. So, yep, Lenny's here. She's feeling a little better today. Uh, she's a little bit less congested, but she's still battling whatever it is, chest cold or whatever it is. She was having a hard time catching her breath, but seems to be getting a little bit better. Somebody told her to be drinking pineapple juice. Seems to help break it up. Yep. Replaced her security camera. I see it's still a little windy out there at Lynn's house. I'm going to screen share so you guys can see her new camera, how good it's working. Yep, it's working good, Lenny. Hey, Ron, how you doing? How's everything going with you, my friend? Yeah, your trash can was knocked over there, Lynn. Don't worry about it. It won't go anywhere. Yeah, like I say, I hope everybody had a good day. And um, if you want to join the panel, up in the top of the chat is click on in. I would imagine Paul Hodges, usually during the week, he goes over to a friend's house in the evening after, someplace that he can kind of de-stress after dealing with all of the medical situations that he has to deal with Bonnie. I recognize you, DJ. I'm going to make you a moderator, my friend. You got a blue wrench. How have you been, DJ? DJ is the son of one of my old friends who is no longer with us. And I remember him growing up. He's a man now with kids of his own. I used to always have schnauzers. Yeah, is the little bit of winds are still continuing, Lynn, but not quite. It's not whistling as like it was, but it's starting to let off. They said by 8 o'clock or so it should calm down to 15-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, DJ, there's not a lot to say, right? I hope you and the family are getting ready for Christmas and everything's going good with you. I haven't seen or talked to you in a couple of years, I think. Yeah, Lynn's got a squirrel pack at her house too. One squirrel brings her babies over right up onto her back deck. She has an enclosed deck situation, comes right in there and sits right down in front of her, and Lynn gives them peanuts. Yeah. Yeah. Once they've been fed, they'll always come back, Ron, as you well know. Oh, DJ, sorry to hear that. Did you have the COVID? Sorry to hear that. Oh, okay. Yeah, navigating the COVID is just kind of like staying away. Um, what helps me is I'm kind of a retired hermit. I don't go too many places or see anybody. It's like everybody thinks you're antisocial if you don't go to big gatherings and dinners and all that kind of stuff. And I don't go. Okay, DJ, well, I'm glad to hear that you didn't have the COVID. And I hope that the entire family over there hasn't had an issue with that. Yep, I agree, DJ. Best thing is to stay at home if you can. Yeah, there's a lot of people like you, DJ. That's not a problem. It's all your choice. Oh, Tanya got it. Okay. Sorry to hear that. Good. Glad to hear that she survived. Everybody, if you please hit that like button, if you would, please. It'd be greatly appreciated. Like I say, we're just on here for a little bit just to see what's going on. Anybody wants to join in, join in. Um, I know a lot of people are going to be going other places online, but I try to fill in and give. You can only watch so much TV, and the other entertainment is here. Online or just on the YouTube live streams. Oh, well, DJ, that's right. I remember you did get SARS way back when. Well, I'm glad to hear that it's not keeping you down. Yes, I remember you were running a daycare, which brought a lot of different people into your lives. Yeah, I kind of figured, Paul, that you wouldn't be home tonight. I figured you'd be out for coffee with your friends. That's no problem. And nothing's changed, I hope, Paul, with Bonnie, everything, she's still in the hospital, and everything going okay? Yep, DJ, that's right. Just every time you turn around, it looks like something's going on. Okay, Paul, that's what you kind of indicated. It was a couple of days anyway, because they're slowly rehydrating her because she was dehydrated, right? Hey, comes Ron. There he is. How you doing, Ron?
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Another day in paradise here in Port Huron, Michigan, north of Detroit.
Mm.
How's the weather out where you are? That's what you kind of indicated. It's a couple of days anyway. You got to mute your slowly rehydrating her because she was dehydrated, right?
Hold on, let me crank down the volume
Yeah,
on
just-
the other. Sorry, I had.
That's okay. Hey, it's not you're not the first one. I've done it
Won't be the
myself.
last either.
I've done it myself. So
Yeah. No, weather actually today was not bad. I think it was mid 40s maybe today. It's felt
yeah,
that
that's
way.
not bad. Yeah.
I tried a little experiment today. I've been getting a lot of deer in the yard. And I talked to the folks up at the grocery store. It's only like a minute up the road. They're really neat people. They're kind of wealthy, but they're very down to earth.
Uh-huh.
The husband is really cool. I had stopped up there the other day. I was asking around about anybody knew anybody that's good at cutting down. I can do this job, Paul. I'm just afraid if I fall and hurt myself, man, a brand new house, new mortgage.
Yeah.
I can't risk that. I got a tree that needs to come down. It's making me a little nervous, and the way it's growing, it's like at a big arch, and it's coming
Oh.
right towards the house. And anyhow, long story short, I met these folks. They run and own the grocery store, and the husband, he was really nice. He's like, "Come on, Ron, let's go for a ride." And I'm like, "Okay." So I went for a ride with him. He brought me down to the house. He looked at the trees, like, "I got just a person for you." So, but then we went to his house. Holy crap! talk about a man. He has two, not one, two man caves. He has two shops that are both, I don't know, 30 by 40. He has somewhere between 10 and 15 classic cars, everything down as low as a 1932 Studebaker.
Wow.
And he has them up on racks, and oh my God, he has almost every original Hot Wheels. He has a wall with all the original Hot Wheels still in packages. Yeah, he's a pretty dude. Anyhow, Terry, the wife, was telling me about how they feed the deer at her house, and they're about 3 miles away from me.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, I've gotten deer in the yard every day. They're mule deer, and she's like, yeah. She said, just bring a plastic jug or whatever full of corn, rattle it, they'll come running. Sure as shit. I went out there with a piece of Tupperware with some corn in it, and they were probably 150 yards away. They raced, knocking each other over to my porch,
Right up to you, huh?
right up to me. And then I actually fed this one. He's a small buck. He's not big. Next year he'll be nice. Let me share.
So were you able to feed them right out of your hand?
Right out of the container.
Out of the container. Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty funny actually. I'm trying to feed him and hold the phone and film at the same time. But let me see. Let me get this. Here we go. Share screen. Hold on. Let me get to. I'll eventually get there. Oops. I'm screwing this up.
If you had a little lean-to with some straw in it, they'd probably go in there and bed down for the night, wouldn't they?
No, they've been sleeping on my porch lately. I'm not sure if I like that. Let's see. Share screen. Here we go. Can you see this, Paul?
Oh, yeah.
And here they are here.
Boy, he's looking right at you.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
I should have reached through the railing. He's a nice little buck, though.
Yep. You can tell they're sure used to human interaction, aren't they?
Yeah. And then there's a poor little rabbit. He was sitting in the middle of all that. He didn't know what the hell to do. He didn't want to move. You still see
Hunkered
this?
down, wasn't he?
Yeah. There's a bigger buck. He was actually still in the rut. He was chasing girls.
Ah.
Yeah, he was all right in my yard.
That's pretty.
Yeah. Anywho.
Well, that sure beats my little herd of squirrels.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. JDS at the car wash.
Oh, I'm not ready for bed.
Yeah, DJs, tell everybody Merry Christmas, the entire family.
Well, that was the highlight of my day.
Yeah, that would be a highlight of your day.
It was kind of neat though. Like I said, hunting season's over, and why not help to feed them? Make sure they stay
Well,
healthy over the
they
winter.
they have a right to survive over the winter too, you know?
They do. They do. And a 50-pound bag of corn was $10. So I don't mind. Can't hunt them here in the community, but
Yeah, you can't be shooting any critters in town.
people might frown upon that. Oh, but off to work tomorrow, and I'll be there
Thanks,
till
DJ.
Wednesday, and then hopefully again, weather pending. Next Thursday morning, I'll be heading to the mountains.
Going for the mountains.
Yeah,
So when do you have to go back to work?
tomorrow morning.
For how many days?
5. I'll be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Come home Wednesday morning.
And then you're off for a week or so?
Actually, only off for 5 days this time. I
Okay.
picked up some extra shifts on the helicopter and 3 shifts on there. I said my primary location is the fixed wing, but I pick up a lot of shifts on the helicopters to help out, extra money.
Which do you prefer to fly in, the fixed or the helicopters?
I would rather be helicopter. That's been most of my life and career.
Yeah.
But geographically, the fixed wing's closer. And see where I live, and actually where I did live too. Dickinson, North Dakota is directly north of me. And because our base is so kind of remote, most of our staff is from out of town. So they
Okay.
provide an apartment complex for us to stay off duty. Now, over in Bismarck, where the helicopter is based, most of those people live locally.
Okay.
So it's an hour and a half drive. I could stay at the apartment in Dickinson and drive to work. The problem is you're looking at 2.5 hours because you have the time change. You have to go from mountain to central. Plus they start their shift at 7. We start ours at 8. So for me to work a shift up there, I have to leave the apartment at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
Because it's about an hour and 15-minute
Well,
drive.
why wouldn't they have a little apartment set up there at the copter shop?
Because the majority of the people there are local.
But
Yeah.
that isn't pre-planning though, because you never know.
Yeah. But most of the people in Dickinson with the fixed wing, we have people that are anywhere from 2 to 4 hours away.
Yeah.
So we have a few local people, but not many. Oh. So how's your weather up there other than windy?
It's been windy, a little bit warm today, but windy. DJ, thanks for stopping in, my friend. You're always welcome.
Has anybody heard from Roger, how he's doing? Did he have surgery?
From what I understand, Paul Hodges reported that the surgery for his artery replacement, the lower part of his body, is on. They're just now waiting to accommodate him with a room for the kind of period, 1 to 2 weeks,
Oh, wow.
Because from what I understand about a total artery replacement in the lower body, they're going to cut him up one thigh across the stomach and back down the other, right?
Oh, yeah, they'll slice him up like a...
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
So I'm sure that's a lot on his mind.
Oh, God, yeah. I bet.
And then after that's done, then they want to turn around and do surgery again on his back, because he had a couple of places where he had his back was fused.
Right.
And evidently they didn't either get it right, or they need to change it, or they need to do something.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. I had two different surgeries at one time, and ended up being a disaster.
Well, everybody I know that has had major those types of surgeries, you don't come back out 100%.
No, you don't.
It's like opening a can of worms. There's other issues, the other
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, let your body heal from the first one.
Yeah, everybody I know that's had like a hip replacement or knee replacement, to a person, have told me afterwards they wish they'd have never had it done.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Because you got to remember, in most knee replacement, hip replacements, other than a few younger people, are all older people. And older
Right.
people, you don't heal, and you don't get the exercise you should get, and that kind of thing. So everything just naturally, as you get older, starts to tighten up.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to be 70 years old the next June. And so, I got bad back, bad knees, not that I'm, in a wheelchair or anything like that, because you always can find worse, but I would never consider doing any kind of surgery.
Right. When I broke my back 8 years ago, and the doctor initially told me my career was over. I said, bullshit. And I said, tell me what I got to do, what you can do, what we can do together. Fix me. I said, for once in my life, I will listen. So he took a risk with me, and he said, let's start with therapy. He goes, I got a girl for you to meet, and you're not going to like her. And he was right. She was a physical therapist who specialized in compression fractures of the spine. And she put me through hell. But one of the things that she told me was to keep my upper back muscles, shoulders in between, your traps and up in there, keep them strong, exercise the hell out of them all the time. That will take that stress off your lower back, because it was my L2 that I crushed. And to this day, Paul, I go to the gym, and that's one of the first exercises I do. And I'm still working. That's 10 years
working,
later.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a scary time in my life. I just moved to Rapid City, South Dakota. Been there 2 weeks. Didn't know anybody. And just let off orientation that day and fell. And broke my back. I had about 500 pounds crash on top of me, and that was not pretty.
Wow. Capture Life Connections. How you doing, Stevie?
Hi, Justin. Bye, Justin.
What's up? I'm trying to pull something. Oh, I'm going to put a link in the chat if anybody's interested in it. This was the court case, race day quads versus the FAA in the Supreme Court. And this is the recording from the Supreme Court. It starts at 1 hour and 14 minutes if anybody's interested in listening to it.
Okay.
Race day quads was using the fact that if you're flying out of your back port or your backyard, your expectation of privacy falls under the Fourth Amendment, and the FAA has no right to track you. So I didn't get to listen to the whole thing, but that was the start of his argument against the remote ID.
Hey, Stevie asked you a question, Ron. He said, which muscle you had to develop, Ron, for that in the neck?
I, like I said, it was my L2 vertebrae, which is lower back, that I broke. And she had me doing about 3 different exercises. So you want to work your traps, your lats, which are back in here behind your shoulders. But those are the 2 big ones. To keep them, work them all the time, make them strong. And I do. I do some pretty incredible weightlifting with those 2 exercises, just because I've done them so much and every day that I go, they've gotten really strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's helped. And when I have found periods where I slack off and don't work them or workout period, I start to feel the pain in my back. Have a hard time getting up, and yeah. So
Yeah, MG says that robotics in the future might be a salvation for future people with, burning out different parts of their body. But
Hey, Stevie. How's it going?
Stevie, how you've been busy? Stevie's been really busy, he said. Good busy though. MGE small town area. Good morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone.
That's Marshall, right? Or is
Yep.
that?
No, I don't think that. I don't know if that's Marshall or not.
I'm not sure because he switched his name a few times.
Yeah. So Ron, you're going into work starting tomorrow?
tomorrow morning, yeah, I leave here about 4 a.m. I drive up. I'll
You
get up
said
there
it's about 2.5 hour drive or
about 3.5.
3.5. Wow.
I'll get up there 7:30ish. And yeah, I work.
Do they tell you in advance if they have a transport that they know of, or is it just you're pretty much on standby like anything else?
Yeah, if I'm on my way up and it's something that doesn't need to go right away, if it's something that the pilots are not going to time out on, they'll call me and say, "How far out are you?" You know, and they kind of know me. They know I show up a good half hour before I'm there, and I'll tell them. But for the most part, we're there. And when a call comes in, boom, you go. You're out the door. They want us in the air in about 15 minutes or less. It's not bad. Getting our equipment in the aircraft, door open, aircraft pulled out, fired up, flight plan made.
Yeah, you gotta bring the aircraft right out of the hangar, right?
Yep. So there's a lot we do. I'm responsible for. We have 1, 2, 3 pieces of equipment we keep on charge on a shelf right behind the aircraft, and I unplug them, get them in the aircraft. I go get the hangar door open. One of the pilots comes out with a tug, and I help him get the tug hooked up to the tow bar, follow him out, unhook that tow bar, get it back in the hangar. We get the tug back in the hangar, close the hangar door. The PIC for the day, he's making the flight plan, and then the rest of the procedure, we all get in, we start to taxi, we call dispatch, say we're en route. They know we're en route. They have the aircrafts are equipped with a tracking system. They know when we turn the key on. As soon as that key's turned on, they know it's on.
Okay.
And so we taxi out. We tell them, we're departing. How many people you got on board? um,
Destinations and everything.
destination, ETA, amount of fuel. And then I asked
Now,
them,
obviously, when you're back at home base, you keep the tanks topped off, right?
we usually keep it at about 4 to 4.5 hours on the fixed wing and 2.5 on the rotor.
Okay.
So,
And you have normal places that you refuel at if you're out and about, right?
yeah, usually at our destination city, it depends on where we're going. Sometimes they'll refuel enough at the destination city, so when we get back home, we don't have to refuel again. They'll kind of put in a little extra, or
Well,
sometimes
what's the longest fixed wing you've gone? Well, how far?
longest I've gone was up into Canada, but we have gone as far as we picked up a guy in Glendive, Montana, took him to Bethesda, just outside DC.
Yeah.
We've gone down to Texas. We've gone to Southern California. We've went to Seattle.
Now, when you fly, does it depend upon the nature of the transport? Do you guys pick the speed up, or do you have a cruising speed that you normally maintain, or it depends upon the patient?
We give it what we got. The only thing we try and do, depending on the patient, sometimes I ask them to do whatever they can to keep the cabin pressure down.
Okay.
Like most of your commercial airlines are pressurized up around 8,000.
Right.
That's why a lot of times they talk about jet lag, and we try to pressurize for the destination city, but if the pilots can, it all depends on where they're going. They may have to fly at a certain higher altitude, but if I got somebody with an intracranial bleed, if I've got some kind of a chest wound with a pneumothorax, chest tube in, whatever, I'll say, hey guys, whatever you can do to keep your cabin pressures down as low as you can. And they're usually pretty good about that. Now on the helicopter, it's a different story. We're obviously only flying a couple thousand feet above, AGL. Most of the terrain, North Dakota, I don't know, it's around 12 to 1800 at the most. MSL. So
what kind of speed do you get out of those are twin engine copters, right?
yeah, we're doing about $1.35, $1.40.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
That's
the fixed wing,
knots.
you get up to 200 or 300.
So we get up to, it's in knots, so was it about 180?
180 knots. Okay.
Yeah. That's boogieing along.
Yep.
Sometimes you're up there flying, it don't look like it, but
Right.
it is.
Now, you've never had to land the fixed wing on like a freeway or anything, have you?
Almost.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, almost. Had one little incident, but for the most part, no. We're usually it's twin engine prop on ours.
Yeah.
We cruise at about 275 to 300, which is not bad for that the King Air.
Right.
Oh.
My computer chair just busted on me. I almost fell onto the floor.
Well,
I had to go get my other one.
that's not good.
I'm trying to adjust it. So, yeah, the dang, what is it? The hydraulic shaft in the middle or whatever just went right to the bottom of the chair.
Oh shit!
Wow. Hey, Ron, before I forget, Lynn was asking if you ever did get to finish her dad's video.
I did. I put a comment on there.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yep. Hey Justin, weren't you in the chat with Mel the other night?
Yeah,
Um,
we were looking at his 3D stuff.
yeah. I found that piece.
Oh, you did?
Yep. And I mounted. I drilled some holes in it to kind of give it some air.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect. Then you don't have to attach it to the drone.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
snaps on. Yep.
Yep. Velcro's right on.
That's some strong Velcro too.
That Velcro's pretty damn strong though. It ain't going anywhere.
No, you almost feel like you're gonna rip the glue than
Yeah.
you would actually getting the damn Velcro apart.
Yeah. It's not going anywhere.
Oh, it sucks, JD. Now I'm stuck with this crappy computer here, this cheap one.
I went out and bought a new one for the new house. My other one, all the leather was it was falling off of it. Every day I'm vacuuming up pieces of leather. And I got mad one day when I was packing the old house a couple months ago, and I picked it up over my shoulder and I walked down to the local dumpster, threw it in there. I got this new one. It's pretty fancy.
Yeah.
All kinds of pads and different adjustments. And
Oh yeah, you can get the gaming chairs that have the that have like the little it's almost like a recliner. It has a little foot
That's-
thing that comes up. Yours has that?
this is.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Kicking back.
Oh yeah.
The best chairs are those big executive ones.
Yeah.
Those things are so comfortable. I could sit in those for hours.
Yep. MG it is. Lynn and I have known each other almost forever.
How's the new job going, Justin?
I got everything done today.
See, he's in the paperwork phase.
Oh,
Oh no, I got everything done today, and then my projected start date's on the 10th of January. So I'll
Now,
go
when
to
you-
West Palm Beach for a
You
week.
go to West Palm right away to get your training in, right?
Right, and it's 5 days. Before I go there, they'll give me my company car, my cell phone, because I get an iPhone, and a gas card.
oh,
And then I get $35 a day for food, and then they pay for the hotel.
no kidding.
So it's actually really easy. I mean, it's literally just a laser machine with this box on the side that you carry on your side with the strap.
Right.
And you have this big laser gun, and you just point it at the ground where the gas lines are at. You point it around the meter, and it can read a gas leak up to like 100, 150 feet away.
Wow.
See if somebody's got a fence around their backyard, you can just reach over the fence and scan it. So
Huh.
seems pretty easy so far, what I've seen.
Right.
And it starts off at 15 an hour, then you get 75 cents after 6 months, and $1 at the end of the year. So then you end up at $16.75,
Wow.
and then you go up $1 every year after that.
I just got a $3 an hour raise just a couple of days ago. My boss sent me a thing. They upped our pay scale, and I was at max because of my years of experience, and they just upped that max to $3 higher an hour. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, what I love about it too is, it's my first job that I've had that's 7:30 to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I get the weekends off because I've always been a manager in retail. And so you never had weekends off. You never had holidays off. You know, you missed a lot of stuff because of that.
Right. So you're married and you have kids?
Yeah, I got 3 kids. I'm married, yeah.
Hmm.
But working retail sucks, man. It's almost like being a first responder. You know, you never get a day off. Like you work you have to work through everything just like a first responder does, you know. Not saying that that's anywhere close to what they do, but it's similar hours and stuff.
You work like big chain type retail or?
Yeah, I was a manager for Walmart for quite a few years.
Oh,
So yeah, I missed a lot of stuff. Like, so I said you never got holidays off except for Christmas Day, but now they finally started closing for Thanksgiving as well. So those are the only 2 holidays they closed for. So
a lot of changes happening at like places like Walmart. Like I know there's people complaining now that they're getting rid of cashiers. Everything's a self checkout. You know,
but it's so much faster though.
Yep.
Like if I have 3 items, I can get through self checkout in a matter of minutes. But you'll have people, and don't take offense to this, Paul, but you'll have people Paul's age, because I'm a lot younger than Paul, but they'll stand in line for 30 minutes with 2 items in their hand because they would just rather have a cashier there than just scan the items, throw their money in the machine, and go.
Not me. I go to
Like I
self.
said, don't take offense to that, but I had to
No,
use
I go to self checkout. I think it's the greatest thing because, like you say, there's times you can be in a checkout line. It feels like an eternity.
Mhm.
but I noticed people are being rebellious at the people at the doors. You know, wanting to check your receipt, and it's like, you know what? Screw you. You're making me go through self checkout. And there was one guy, he wrote a thing on Facebook. He's like, screw you. He walked around there was this big line for the person at the door to check your receipt to make sure everything in your bag was on your receipt. He's like, screw you. He walked around the line and the lady started yelling at him. And he just held his receipt up in the air and kept walking.
Well, this is the thing too, is Walmart keeps flip-flopping on it. They'll put that policy in place, then something will happen and they'll get into a confrontation with the customer and they'll get falsely arrested because they got accused of stealing when they didn't. And then Walmart will reverse the policy. But the thing is even when the policy's there, Walmart states that you are not allowed to stop a customer as a regular associate. Only salary managers are.
Yeah.
You can get in trouble for that. A lot of these employees that you see on YouTube that have stopped people have gotten fired for that after that.
You know, I noticed that one time. I was in a Walmart in Reno once, and I pulled a regular associate aside to this lady. It kind of pissed me off. I mean, she had designer jeans. She had a $1,500 iPhone, whatever, in her back pocket. But she had, you could see it, she had 3 shirts on. Well, the dumb shit forgot to take the price tags off. And I looked at the associate. I said, does that raise any interest to you? You got to go talk to her. She goes, I can't do that.
Yeah, they're not allowed to. It's a liability. And now that what happened here in Florida about 3 years ago, asset protection officers stopped a guy in the parking lot, held him down. The guy had a heart attack, died.
Oh, shit.
And that was the town next to me, not too far from me. And Walmart changed their policy nationwide because the family sued Walmart over it, but the guy was stealing. It wasn't a false accusation. But now even APs, they can't put their hands on anybody anymore. They're not allowed to stop. Like once you make it past those yellow poles outside the doors, they can't no longer go past that point. They're not allowed to. Not even managers are allowed to. If they chase you in the parking lot, they can get in big trouble for that.
Even if they follow you out just to see your car and your license plate?
They're not supposed to, because it's considered a dangerous practice by Walmart's policy. They're not supposed to go out and try to get the license plate or anything.
Well, and I can see why that is in today's world. People aren't just thieves anymore. They're armed thieves. And if they think you're watching them, they're liable to stab you or shoot you.
Yeah. Well, on the same token, the more theft, the higher the prices.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's all built in.
Or if it gets out of control like it is, in California, businesses are just leaving.
Yeah.
They're just outright
Close the doors.
shutting down and leaving.
Yeah.
And then that creates a problem for your community because now you have a lot less retail stores to shop at. There's less products. Things become more scarce. And then people get even worse. That thievery gets even worse because of the scarcity. And it's just a snowball effect.
Yeah, it's true.
You gotta, and that's the thing is all these retailers were, supporting all this anti-cop thing last year, but now they're going to Congress, begging Congress to pass federal laws to help them out because now their stores are getting hit so bad in some of these states, and the states aren't prosecuting anybody. So now they're all running to Congress wanting help.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you guys supported the other side last year. That's your own fault.
Yep, exactly.
Because there's certain businesses that stuck their ground when, that cancel culture type thing tried to get at them, like Chick-fil-A, Domino's Pizza. They held their ground and said, we're going to do what we want. We're our own business. And guess what? Nothing happened to them. Their business is still thriving.
Right.
But a lot of other businesses, they just bent the knee thinking that if they did what that small percentage of people wanted, that somehow that was going to make their business better. What is this?
There's what AZ Drone ordered. It's a tiny, mighty action cam.
Have you had any luck with that footage, Ron? I know you hated doing that 360 footage.
Oh yeah, I've had very good success with it.
Is it still kind of a pain, or you've kind of learned it and it's a lot easier?
I've learned. I haven't used it. Like I said, none of my cameras, with the exception of the past week. I'm down to one job again for a while. I don't know how long that'll last, but I'm probably going to take off till the end of December and maybe in January look for something else. But I'm gonna do a little R&R for a month or two.
That's good.
Get back into what I do, what I like to do, cameras and drones, and next Thursday I'm taking off for the mountains and spending my Christmas holiday in the woods.
There you go.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. If you got the ability to do it, do it.
I do. I said I don't have any family and nobody really to spend it with. So I'm like, screw it. Why sit here and stare at four walls?
You don't have like brothers or sisters or anything?
I got a brother in Wichita. We don't speak, unfortunately, but that's it. So yeah, I'm a little different this year. No girlfriend this year, so yeah, I'm just gonna go out and self-entertain, so to speak.
I have a overly large family. My grandma had 9 kids.
Wow.
18 grandkids, and then there's like 30 some great grandkids now.
Holy crap.
I was part of the 18 grandkids, but between all of us now, there's like 30 or some freaking great grandkids now.
Whew.
She had 7 boys and 2 girls.
What was funny was last Christmas Eve, I worked, and I go into work for a night shift. And a lot of times on nights, we go in and we sit around the kitchen table, and some of the weirdest, interesting conversations go on in our hangar at the kitchen table. And my nurse partner starts blah, 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 blah. My damn daughter, she's not appreciated. She didn't like the gift she got. And, and she's being a pain in the ass about her daughter as a new baby. And she's bitching. Well, then the female pilot that was on starts about her daughter, blah, 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 getting, all snotty and nasty and mean. Then the other pilot Says, well, my stepson, aka my wife's son, laid a big one on us tonight. He wants to become a girl. So they're all three bitching, and then they look at me and they said, Ron, it's not so bad being single and no kids and no family and no drama, right? And I'm like, you got a point there. You know, so yeah, it was an interesting conversation that night. But well, guys, I'm gonna go get the rest of my stuff ready and get ready to go to bed. I gotta get up
Okay,
at
buddy.
2:30, about 2:30, 2:45.
Oh, wow, you gotta get up early.
Yeah, I usually leave about 3:30, 4:45, and slowly work my way to work.
Yep. Okay, Ron. Well, I think we might just call it a day here. We got 12 people watching, but I know there's some other people out there.
Oh,
Lewis P. Well, hello, Lewis P. Lewis P. does a lot of flying FPV. Good to see everybody. Well, everybody, thanks for being here. Ron's got to go, and I think we're going to just do the same.
Yep.
Because I think some people want to go over and see Ken. So,
Yep.
all right, everybody.
See
Take
you guys
care.
all later.
Thanks for being here. We'll see everybody again next time.